Hi, I'm Mark. This is my April review for Cancer Sun sign and Cancer rising. We start the month with two aspects from the Sun, one to Saturn and one to the Moon's nose. These are both positive aspects. The Sun is in your 10th house of career, of destiny, of chosen path and your public standing. So now you can benefit in these areas. You can get noticed by people in authority, and it may be that you have to take on some kind of authorial leadership yourself. It's also very good for doing detailed work and getting things done, organised and planning for the future. Then on the 2nd, it's a day of finding out the truth. Mercury makes an aspect to Pluto and you want to unearth things, you want to find out the truth about people because Pluto's in your 7th house of others, so it's the time to do a little bit of detective work and find things out. Just spoke about the Sun making positive aspects to Saturn and the North Node. Well, these two make a positive aspect together, and this will last for 2 weeks. Now the restrictions will start to ease, the limitations you've been under will start to fall away, and you'll be ready to take on new challenges. This lasts for 2 weeks, so it's a good time to start planning and organising for these new challenges. And look out for opportunities that may come your way. Then on the 5th, Venus is in your 10th house, and there's a strong emphasis on the 10th house for the next couple of weeks. Makes a positive aspect to Mars. This means you'll be able to get along well with people in the work areas, and you'll be able to have a boost of creativity. You'll also be able to attract people towards you that can help you and assist you in your goals and dreams. We have another boost for you in the 10th house on the 6th when the Sun makes a conjunction to the planetoid Ceres. Now, when these two are together, this is going to increase your popularity in the 10th house. People are going to be drawn to you. Also, it's a good time to put things into the limelight. Anything that you've been working on, it's a good time to bring that out into the open now. And people will come to you for nurturing as well. Being a Cancerian, you are a very nurturing type of person, so people will be attracted to that at this time. So that's a real boost in confidence, and also it will help you with your self-reliance and independence. But then 2 days later, unfortunately, there's a bit of a dip. There will be an aspect between Mars and Neptune, and Mars is in your 12th house, so the unconscious will be active, and there'll be doubtful thoughts coming into your head. Thoughts that are saying, are you good enough to do this, or you can't do this, and there's quite a lot of negativity you need to deal with. Neptune puts a fog around things, so you'll be a little bit confused for a few days, but just don't make any important decisions during those 4 days, because your mind won't be concentrating correctly. You'll be distracted very easily, and you may need to look at your beliefs and maybe change and adapt some of those to the current circumstances. On the 9th and 10th, Mercury makes 3 positive aspects in your 10th house. This is a good time to look at things because your mental faculties will be boosted. It's a good time to see where there's changes that need to be made, see where there's balancing need to be done in your career or your chosen path. It's also a good time to communicate with people in authority, and again, you could be in the right place at the right time. Also on the 10th, there's a fortunate aspect between Venus in your 10th and Jupiter. Jupiter's in the 8th house of shared resources, so this is a good time for finances, it's a good time for business, and it's a good time for attracting some wealth to you and having opportunities to fulfill yourself. On the 11th, for 6 days, the Sun makes a positive aspect to Mars. Now these two work very well together. The only problem you have is that the Sun is in your 10th house, so it wants to be out there getting noticed and doing things, but Mars is in your 12th house, so Mars will be a little bit more withdrawn, will prefer to work behind the scenes on some project or something, put the energy in that way. So you're going to try to balance these if you can and get the best out of both of them, because these two normally work very, very well together. Then on the 11th, there's a difficult aspect because Venus makes a square to Pluto. Now Venus in your 10th, as we've said, Pluto's in your 7th of other people, so you could come up against powerful people on a day like this, there could be power struggles, so you just need to be careful because emotions will be very high and very intense. So be careful in that 10th house area of what you say and what you do, and things should be fine. The 10th house is further highlighted on the 12th when we have a new moon. Now the new moon in Aries in your 10th is a new moon of initiation, of getting things started, of getting things going. This new moon is good for business and business plans. It's good for setting new career goals. It's good for setting goals relating to your position in society or your public standing as well. You'll be very concerned about self-mastery and self-discipline, so it's a good time to set goals relating to these as well. And with this new moon, it really is a time of action, of empowering yourself. Power and motivation are all the positive points of Aries. On the 14th, there's an extremely positive aspect between the Sun in your 10th and Jupiter in your 8th house. Now, this is good for just about anything. The Sun in your 10th is good for career advancement. Jupiter in the 8th, it could be that you have money coming in from an outside source. All these things are possible under this transit, and it lasts for 4 days, so you can make the most of this. It'll put you in a very jovial frame of mind. Then on the 15th, for 5 days, Mars makes a positive aspect for Jupiter. So this is a good period. This lasts for 5 days. So this is a period when you can make the most of things, tune into those positive energies and really push things forward. On the 16th, you may have a test or a challenge to your current plans as the Sun makes a square to Pluto. And it may be that you need to make some radical changes if you're not on course. Just beware there may be power struggles on this day as well. Then on the 17th it's a busy day because Mercury makes 2 positive aspects, one to Jupiter, so this will be where you can see the bigger picture. You'll be able to see what changes need to be made and why they need to be made. There's also a square to Pluto from Mercury on this day, so again you may be locked in discussions, but you need to be frank and honest and open. On the 18th, the Sun comes together with Mercury, which is normally very good because it's great for communication, but they're both at 29 degrees of Aries, and when a planet is at 29 degrees it's what we call anaretic, and it loses all its power, all its strength and vitality, so you may feel the same sort of thing happening. But then on the 20th they'll both move into Taurus and things will be back up to normal, but the emphasis will shift from your 10th house to your 11th house. So now you'll be looking at your goals and your dreams. You'll be wanting to network and you'll be more involved with group activities. There'll also be an emphasis on friends and socialising and networking with colleagues. We now have the Sun, Mercury and Venus all in your 11th house, so the emphasis has changed and they will all make a conjunction with Uranus over the next few days. The first is Venus on the 22nd. She makes a conjunction, and this could bring exciting new people into your life, friendships that you had not expected. The thing is with Uranus, it can be very exciting or it can be very difficult. If you've made changes along the way and you're on track, then it would be an exciting time to have one of these conjunctions. If not, Uranus can bring events on the outside world that force you to change. The second one on the 24th is from Mercury. Now Mercury with Uranus is very exciting mentally. It's hard to sleep because your mind would be buzzing. This is a good time to think up new dreams, new goals for the future. It's also great for communicating with friends and colleagues and networking, to talk about exciting new ideas and new things that you want to do. On the 24th there's an aspect between Chiron and the Moon's nodes, and this is a very important aspect and will last till the end of the year, so there's time to work with this one. This is for us collectively and personally. Collectively, over the past year we've been through a very difficult time with the pandemic, and we need to learn from this and heal the wound that has been created, so that we can then take the responsibility and the initiative to rebuild and take things forward. Personally for you, Cancer, there is a lot to do with the routines. Your nodes are between the 6th and the 12th house. The 6th house is about our daily routines. This is what we rely on. This routine keeps us sort of grounded and sane. But you've got to balance this with the need for spiritual growth, because your North Node is in the 12th house, and that's all about the way forward. It's our way forward through the spiritual side of things and the understanding of things and the bigger picture. So you've got to balance these two and work more towards the North Node, but also you've got to reinvent your daily routine, so that you can free up more time, perhaps, to spend more time on other things. On the 25th, Mercury and Venus come together, which is normally a fantastic day, but they both unfortunately make a square to Saturn, and Saturn will probably put a dampener on things and enforce responsibility and duty, so it may not be as good as we would hope. Then on the 27th is a very intense day. There's a full moon in Scorpio, your fellow water sign, and this moon's about truth and transformation. And it's also in your 5th house. 5th house of creativity, of love, of children, so there could be a lot of activity around children. There could be a lot of activity around having fun as well, because the 11th house has been probably taking a toll on you with great demands, so now it's time you want to have some fun. Maybe a time when you get involved with a creative project, or maybe a time that you want to spend with your partner. You may feel like really pouring your heart out and getting close to the truth of matters, and be it romantic or playful, make sure you have some fun. On the 29th, Mercury makes a conjunction with the Black Moon Lilith. This is in your 11th house. So there'll be communications with friends, but you just need to be careful what you say, because you don't want to blurt something out that's going to upset people. So just think before you speak. And then on the 30th, the Sun makes that final conjunction with Uranus in your 11th house, and this will force some change about this. It can be exciting if you're on the right track. This can bring some exciting things along, and Uranus doesn't want you to be boring. It wants you to have some fun and enjoy this aspect. If there are things that happen and it proves you're off course, then you need to make some changes, quick changes, and then get back on course as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe, and if you'd like to leave me a comment, I'd love to hear from you.